Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to the meetup. It's called TorontoAI. So this meetup group I started pretty much around 2019, pre-COVID era, and it has over 6,000 active members, mostly on Meetup.com. And you can see right now I use Meetup.com for mostly for information gathering, but most of the RSVP I do through Luma because Luma gives more feature. I can actually see, scan. It's much more user friendly. Plus, it is more, I will say, snappy app. If anybody has used Meetup, it takes some time, just rolling is pretty slow. So, this Meetup group is specifically designed for a tech people, like tech people who are working in the tech industry or who are interested in the tech industry and wants to do something in that. And usually I host these type of demo nights, demo days, panel discussion. So panel discussion is mostly high level discussion where maybe someone is VP, director level. They're talking about some strategic view where the company is going or maybe any technology going. Right now, AI is red hot, right? And today, so the idea of this event is mostly to keep a bridge between developers and startup community, because usually you can see the site of meetup is usually 5:30. So people who finish the work, they come here. That's why I always prefer to have a little bit of snack. And today's snack was sponsored by Tara Generosity, Muche AI. So because that helps, because everybody's coming from work, they are hungry. At least something is there, right? And this is, you can see the last event we did here, and the panel discussion was on 111. So a little bit shout out to the event location sponsors, the Shift Labs. So Shift Labs is a, you can see that's a, you can see is a kind of a AI enablement company. So AI enabled mean building an enterprise system that delivers. So usually you are talking about analytics product, cloud engineering, AI engineering, sovereign cloud, you name it. Any types of problem solving, whenever it comes to data and engineering, ShiftLab has the solution. So ShiftLab has over 200 plus data engineers, data and AI experts across the globe. They have offices in Toronto, US, India. Audio is not working? Hello? Oh, sorry. Good. Hello? Now? Okay. So it was off. Maybe the batteries died. So So that was about Shift Lab. So Shift Lab, so founder and CEO of Shift Lab is right here, Shobit. And so he has been generous enough to give us the space to use it. And also I'm bugging, maybe actually we are in the middle of work. You can see guys are still working and we are harassing them in some other way. uh, so that is for Shift Lab. And so this is basically so what I usually do as what I do now. Let's say what is am I doing? So my career is coming through as a software developer over 20 years. So I have progressed through career transition. I started as a software developer, then become a uh, basically a DevOps engineer, then become solution architect. Now I'm AI architect. Because what happens is that in technology, every 3 years there a new wave comes and always promises something that, hey, you know what? Whatever you knew 3 years ago is all, just forget about it. This will come and replace you. By the way, this replacement has been happening for 50 years in tech. And see, we are all here. So same way, see, AI came, and I think AI left also. You can see a lot of AI stock has corrected dramatically. Nvidia is going down every day. So I think I would say AI had a hype cycle when it was ChatGPT was launched 2022. Pretty much I was sitting on top of A100 that time. We have like Nvidia A100. So from that time, pretty much the first touch of ChatGPT running LLM model, and now I can see full square is coming back. Is now AI is becoming more of a mainstream. So now enterprise, business, user, everybody's thinking how I can use this technology. Okay, it's all fancy tool is there, but what can I do for you? So that is the focus of this today's event, is that we'll use some very simple uh, novel use cases which anybody can use and you can implement in your day-to-day life or business. So what I do, I work as a developer advocate where I work with startups to bring their solution or product to the developers and get a developer feedback. And this Toronto AI is the platform for that. So if anybody is a startup and you want to expose your product, solution, whatever it means, So any questions so far? Feel free to interrupt because see today, last time it was house full, this time it's not, but it's anyways, it will be more interactive in that way. So, so that is a developer advocate developer relationship. So and today actually we have two demo. One is which I will be doing the demo. It's basically a fear sensor app. It's a very simple app. I'll talk about it. Second demo will be done by Tara and Majid. So they will be doing a RAG. So but this one is a so this is a simple demo app I'll show you using Falcons.ai. So what is Falcons.ai? So in the last event, I met an interesting person, and I will just start talking to him. What do you do? I couldn't understand what he was saying. And then he said, actually, my model is number 2 most downloaded model in Hugging Face. I said, oh my God, I'm talking to a celebrity or what? So that's how I stumbled upon Mike. So he's a founder and CEO of Falcons AI. And surprisingly, I mean, I was shocked, by the way. I said, how is it possible? I mean, you could, by the way, when I think maybe 2-3 months back, it was number 2 downloaded, and still it is number 2 downloaded. And remember, every day new model is being dropped by billion-dollar companies, and somehow the Falcons AI model is at the top. But there is a reason for it. Reason for it is that you can see all these big AI guys talking about they will change the world, they will do this, they will do AGI. But Falcons AI solving a very simple problem that people actually need, and that's why his model is really popular. But so you can see here. So second most downloaded, you can go to Hugging Face right now, and you have to sort by most downloaded, and you'll see. And I see number 1 keeps changing here and there, but the number 2 is pretty consistent here. And you want to say something about?
So I am Mike Stottleman. I'm the CTO and founder, or CEO and founder of Falcons AI. We do have 3 co-founders. We are a 3-person team, and I don't like to brag about our NSFW classification model having over 1 billion downloads and being number 2. I see that as like CK was saying, you have all these billion-dollar companies out there putting all these resources into a lot of their hello. I don't think it works.
No, it works.
Hello. So you see like these major companies pouring all these $1 billion and going out and, acquiring all this talent and, paying all this money for scale AI and, whatever flavor you're into. That's not necessary. If you have some ambition to do something to impact the world and you put your time and money and effort into it, you can do 1 billion downloads at the hottest time in the hottest space available. That's crazy for a 3-person team that was completely bootstrapped, right? How we came up with that model, I have kids. I have 8 actually, 4 boys, 4 girls. And you start finding and if you pay attention, you start seeing the rampant proliferation of illicit or pseudo-sexual content all over the place. Like you don't even have to look far. You just, any little app, right? And so for us, it was, well, we develop models. We could develop something to, go over this because, our kids are on Roblox, Minecraft, you name it, TikTok, all these apps, right? That are actually rolling back their content moderation efforts. So that's kind of the origin story of that model. And, we're heavily involved in the developer community. We started in Dubai, still there, in France, in Egypt, in the States. And we just, talk to developers. Hey, what do you mean? Hey, what works? Hey, if we put out a tutorial on how to spin up our model on your, local server or, through fast API or something like that for you to actually serve it up in your own infra, would that help? Yeah, let's do that, this, that, and other. And so I think that's the majority of the traffic that we got on there. The other thing what CK is going to present today is we have a fear-monger detection model. And so basically we train the model on like fear-mongering and non-fear-mongering statements. And we did that in conjunction with Al Jazeera, because last year was the largest election year in human history, right? So you had large elections all over the planet. And we did that for them to kind of monitor the amount of fear mongering that's going on. How many politicians, how much of the political speech or narrative is centered around scare tactics and things like that. Well, the funny thing is, a doctor from Abu Dhabi called me up and was asking about, is there any way to apply this technology to patients' viewing habits, and then tie that in with their like Fit tracker or whatever, Fitbit, whatever, health monitor solution they want to use to kind of map and show, like, when you watch this type of content, this is what it does to your stress levels, and this is how it impacts you from an overall health perspective. And so I thought that was a nuanced approach that, we came up with CK and Joseph to build something to just show, like, there is a way for you to leverage your gifts in this space to do well and do good at the same time, right? You don't have to always, chase the whatever the I don't know. I call them AI tourists, but whatever that fad is happening at that time, you can actually isolate and identify a problem that's personal to you or that you see, and figure out a way to deploy technology to solve that problem. And I know it sounds all Pollyanna and this, that, and other, and I'm not like super tree hugging or anything like that, right? But I do think that it's a balance, right? You see all the horror stories, the doom and gloom, all of that. So if AI can do all of this stuff and, ID tracking and all this weapons-based, capabilities, we're missing a lot of the other good that it could do. And those good ideas, they reside in you and the people like you that want to go out and go to these meetups and find ideas and find things that say, hey, you know what, am I crazy? We were literally just talking about, running a startup. You have to be kind of a little bit off your rocker to, have the skill set to secure a great job and a steady paycheck and say, you know what, because I believe in this and I believe in us, I'll risk it. The world needs more risk takers. That's how civilization advances. So thank you all for coming, and thank CK for putting this on, and I hope you enjoy just a novel approach at combining data to get better healthcare for the elderly.
So I think whatever slide I had prepared, he already said everything. So I'll straight away go into the thing, actually the meat of it. So for this demo, what I did, I prepared a demo app in my home laptop using Cloudflare reverse proxy. And today, when I came here, the proxy is not working. So what I'll do is, it gives us a good opportunity. I'll basically in front of you and just deploy the app. So what I did was, while he was talking, I just spin up EC2 instance, and let me share my screen. Okay. So here is the. So if anybody has a GitHub account, remember I told to bring your laptop if you can. So we'll start here. So this actually app was built by one of my students from DevOps Launchpad. His name is Joseph, but he's in a college right now, so he is unable to do the demos. I said, okay, man, I'll do that. So what we did essentially, I'll walk you through the GitHub page. So this is, you can go to TorontoAI Hub repo, and this is the Fear-Monger detector. So what it does, so you can go to the README, it's self-explanatory. So what we essentially did that use this Fear-Monger model as a backend and build a Streamlit-based app. So Streamlit, simple Python wrapper, you can use it, and did some simple analytics and make a useful app, which actually I can use it. For example, Mike was giving an example, right? Like kids, you have kids and they're watching something. You don't know what is the content inside it. So what I do right now, I use this tool actually to say example that they were watching my son switch on some random cartoon videos, something like. So what I did, I took the URL of a cartoon video from YouTube and put on this tool just to see how much fear it has in it. And that is a very good validation of from your side, from a parent or from anybody, to see what my kids is watching is okay or not. Because government can say PG-13, PG-14, whatever number it is, but it is your model. You can tune the model and you can be your own judge on that one. So that was pretty much the tool. But the tool originally, how it started was, what I did was, most people wear some kind of these type of watches, right? And as he was talking about a use case where if someone is watching too much fear or something, and if you are some kind of vulnerable population, maybe you are very emotional, or maybe you are very senior or something, like you watch something on TV, you get like really worried, and your heart rate might, again, this is a big word, might, because we don't know. We are not doctor, we are not medical scientists either way. But the effort of this tool is to actually give a tool to the researcher so that they can do and they can actually fine tune this application and map it with the live data, say live HRD data from Fitbit or anything, and see if there is any correlation or not. Remember one thing, correlation and causality are very different things. It's a very 101 of data science. Forget data science at 10th grade math. So that is one thing. So anything done here is kind of a prototype demo that you can use and play in your home. And so repo is pretty standard. And by the way, most of the code is generated through AI prompting using ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is. But again, in order to talk to AI, to get it working, by the way, it took weeks, by the way. Even the code is generated by AI. To make it work, it itself is effort. And right now you can see when I will actually start it, it will be effort for me itself. So often you hear a story, right? AI is taking away jobs, AI is replacing people. Remember one thing, AI came and AI will disappear, will all be here. Don't worry, it's just AI is another tool, it's just another hype cycle. When the stock market cools up, you will see everything will be more realistic. And so second thing, so architecture is pretty simple. You can see the data source is there. You can use video or a transcript, or you can make an API of it, and then you fetch the API call, and then you run against this particular model. So we are using a different model. So if anybody has a, you don't need to have a account in Hugging Face, but you can see it. So this is the model. So usually whenever you go to Hugging Face, you see a model card, and this is a simple fine-tuned BERT digital model. So you don't need GPU, you don't need anything. It's a very, very simple model. It's digital, so it has already accuracy really high and really works really fast. So what I do usually, I use a cheat code. I simply go here and type any of these. Because this model doesn't require any acceleration, GPU or anything, you can run anywhere in laptop. So you can go with the transformer, Google Colab, or Kaggle. So I use the Google Colab, this transform options, so that I can copy the code itself and copy the code and paste it onto your whatever tool you have. So example, if I go back to my this repo, so this is actually when you run it again. If anybody know a little bit about even about sentiment analysis, so sentiment analysis like any other, so the previous generation model of sentiment analysis, they were doing mostly like keyword matching, and those models were not really good. But these transformer based models are really good in sentiment analysis, but it comes with a catch. You have to define the sentence length. Sometimes, when we were doing this experimentation, if you choose a sentence too long, sometimes it says, oh, because it sometimes takes out of context. It thinks, oh, there is a fear in the something, someone said some word. So in order to make it work for your use case, or that's what we are talking about, if anybody is a say research or doing a healthcare research, they have to actually fine tune not only the model, you have to fine tune the application as well, how you're using the model, how you're using running the API. So based on that, it can actually dramatically change all those stuff. Installation step is here. I will be following right now because as I said, my stuff is not working. So by the way, anybody is a developer, they know this is a very normal thing. And I know like people, I don't, maybe in a news channel or somewhere, people who have never written code, they say, oh, uh, yeah, example, again. So just I'll go with it. So this particular one, what we did, we took the correlation like the HRT data and map sample to the Fitbit data of my heart rate. Again, it is done on the historical data, not on the live data. I need to open the port. Oh, I typo. Both range is it. How many people have done this before? Or maybe you guys have never seen this, right? Before? Huh? Dude, when it told me I'm putting a 0 on that one. So now you will see. So you see, so now it's throwing an error of this package. I'll install it. Got it. Yeah, this requirement text need to be fixed. Yeah, there is one last error. Torch. How many people deal with this on a daily basis, by the way? I did everything on the laptop, but it's just so I think this is, I think if anybody, I'll send you the link of the repo. You can feel free to fork it and submit the push pull request. Basically, it needs to add 4 lines into requirement.txt. So that next time if I run people install -r requirement.txt, it will install all the dependency. Even EC2 is slow. What is going on? How many people are unable to understand anything what I'm doing? Just, I mean, feel free to ask. I mean, I'm more than happy to basically just to say what I'm doing. I'm basically trying to install a package and it's taking time. No, it's easy too. I'm running on Amazon. Oh, you have everything running? Oh, yeah, let's come. Yeah. Oh, you got the app running as well?
I just loaded the local. I just downloaded from Git and ran the.
Oh, your laptop is, oh my God, a giant laptop. Uh, um, yeah, maybe I can connect this one.
The HDMI is the other song.
That's it, right? Oh, And that's it, right? Oh, so that's what I was talking about. Like, if you see this app, so this is a Streamlit, pretty standard Streamlit app, and I think you still need the CUDA, by the way.
We should be running CUDA.
No, it's throwing error. It's throwing an error. So what I usually do basically, if you are someone wants to use it on a daily basis, so pick any I don't know, uh, like example this YouTube video, right?
There is a silent killer in affiliate marketing. Does he not host?
See, he's selling something. Okay, so what we can do is we can actually
I think he should trigger that a blockable feedback was connected and with some clever practice would urge you sides for by grouping.
you earn money. I think mine should be up by jar. No. Yeah, but it's I
get that optimism hugging face. I mean, unless you have like they make
I'm a little different, by the way.
on their back end and you can train it using their resources. But no, we didn't do it for the money. We just did it because like it was a problem we're having. And then a bunch of other developers came up. And I'll tell you, like one of the most goofy stories we heard from the developer is it was somewhere in the UK, a gentleman or two gentlemen got their dismissal papers and they decided to change their avatars on their company internet email and all of that. And they're like, how do you flag this? Like, not sending data out. And if you think about it, how many applications do you use just your average day? Just at work or at home, personal, whatever. How many applications do you use that have image upload, storage, or transmission capability? Damn near all of them, right? So those are all of the threat vectors that this type of content can infiltrate into companies and government entities and things like that. With the push for the Kids Online Safety Act and during the EU, I think the Digital Safety Act and EU AI, like all of these legislations are coming online to force companies to deal with this problem that they've just been kind of pushing down. We're going to really content moderators. Oh, that's not really. Oh, well, it's not. Well, you start. So we're working with here in Toronto. We're working with a couple of agents from Interpol for our model somehow detects CDAC. But I don't want anything to do with that. It's anybody that doesn't know about CSAM, it's child sexual exploitation, right? Child sexual abuse and feared. Huge fuck, right? So, in the U.S., it's 600,000 per instance if you get audited. So per instance means per image. Right. It's like, you engage companies and they're like, oh, well, we don't really deal with that. We don't. Oh, you will? You will, won't you? Because your ISPs are stealing all this stuff. I mean, we know this, right? Google is scanning, Apple is scanning, AWS, like all your cloud providers, your ISP, they're scanning your imagery data and your imagery traffic. On call, auditors show up, info gets taken down for the duration of the investigation, things like that. So, we try to educate because we do have enterprise models. We do have other solutions for detecting embedded malware in images and image tampering for insurance funding and things like that. But you get hit, and what are you going to do? You can't plead. Ignorance is not on. What is that? Ignorance is not a defense as a law or something like that. What's called, but this is coming and it's coming fast. And where I feel like the majority of our traction came from too is, so everybody here familiar with Black Forest Labs Flux model, image model? Anyone ever heard of Flux? Okay, well, they just came out with Flux too. Super easy to uncensor Flux. And so that's a problem. Stability, it is XDSL, I think is their latest model, the last one they put out. Super easy to uncensor those models. And now you have just a myriad of generated models and deepfakes. It's getting to the point that there was a story coming out of Louisiana last week, 2 weeks ago, that middle schoolers are passing around this type of imagery data now. And so the laws are struggling to find out, like, okay, these are juveniles. How do we prosecute them or hold them, or, who do we hold accountable? So now the legislation's getting a lot more teeth because somebody has to be held accountable when you have situations of, like I said, I got 4 boys, 4 girls. Granted, they're older, but, that's like a parent's nightmare. Your daughter comes home, your son comes home and say, hey, they're passing around these, deep fake pornographic images of me at school, and there's no recourse. There's literally, as a parent and that child, there is no recourse. So as this stuff starts getting figured out more and more, then more and more of these detection and prevention models should come along.
Yeah, finally the app is up. So it was maybe a different version. So anyways, so this is the app the Streamlit console looks like. So it has a bunch of selectors. Example, so Fearsense threshold selector is basically you are tuning the sentiment analysis model, like how much longer sentence you want to give, shorter sentence you want to give. And so this is the thing where, example, I go to say YouTube and just pick any of those videos, like what is video? Okay. Maybe this one.
If you've been hearing about Kafka,
Okay, I've been hearing a lot about Kafka. They just got $11 billion, right? Bought by IBM. So the once you hit, so what it does, it basically leads the YouTube. Oh, it's blocking your IP. Too many requests. So because this is Office IP, so it's sometimes blocked. So what it does basically, if you put any YouTube, what it will do like get the transcript, or I can simply copy and paste the transcript here. So I can go here, generate a transcript which has lots of political commentary. Ensure it was following. But usually ChatGPT is very, very, I will say, it will not give any flag or anything. The problem is YouTube will not work from this IP address because of Office IP address. If I copy this one, let me. Okay. Top it.
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up. So as you heard, our panelists are
Oh, is it talking? So here,
so Mike, how's this work? Does this sit on top of the hyperscaler model? No. What do you mean? Like how? Like
No, it's just a Stillbird model, so you can load it locally. But it just no.
on your local machine?
You would load it using transformers. Oh yeah, I like the transformers API because you can just actually load the model. And
So if I can play, so if they're using Gemini, they're searching a bunch of stuff. What would this do?
for Gemini,
Yeah, like
nothing. It's more tuned towards like video transcript analysis.
no, so see again, you don't we are in this app, we are not using any third-party LLM. So that's what this is the reason I emphasize.
From LLMs. And here's specifically why. Because this is POC for us. Because if you could do it with a small model like a T5 or a Bird or just Stillbird, then you can start pruning and shrinking the model down to get it to actually run on device, right? And then if you can get it to run on device, you can pair that data with the Fitbit data, and they can, come out in the same string, right? Oh,
So when I remember when I showed this
I'm not a fan of it. I was the first to say that. I'll continue to say that. I think it is an off ramp to not true AGI. So is this as an embedding model? It's the embedding.
well, it's just pure, it's like this one. See, this is the one. No, it's a pure it's a sentiment analysis model. See this one. This is what I was showing. So when you use this model, you are directly getting from Hugging Face. So it's not using third-party API. So if you want to use it, you just simply go click transformer, or if you want to do on a Google Colab, and the moment you put it, because the model is so slow, it will immediately download. It's just minuscule, and because it is not a heavy model, so you don't need GPU or anything can run on laptop. So right now, the one I'm running, it is running on an EC2 small instance, so anybody can run it. And so what I wanted to show is that if you put an example, if you are doing on a day-to-day basis, so you put a YouTube URL here, it will fetch the transcript from your home IP. It will work because your home IP, not 5,000 people are not doing YouTube, right? Here is the office LAN, so many people are hammering this. So what I did, I actually copy pasted a transcript which I generated from ChatGPT, and then what it does is doing a text analytics on that one. Example, there are so many paragraphs, and what it says, it trying to assess like what is the peak score, how much fear is there, because it is generated through ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very soft, it doesn't say anything wrong. It's just too good for everything. So unless, example, if I go to Grok, I can actually ask it to write some more harsh, like strong words, and then you can see the fear one is going out. And actually, one of the demo, even Joseph did, and he also did with what is this guy, Alex Jones guy. He's a very flamboyant, he's very over the top. So if you hear his talk, you see a lot of flags. So the idea is that you have to find that kind of use case. And again, this is a very specific use case for fear. But I think you can, with the tuning or maybe fine tuning, you can make it for some other use case as well. So example, but I think fear, it will work for equally, right? Sexual content, like for any, like if you want to create a kind of your home app, before you approve any video for your kids, you can actually do it, run it through this model, and you can see if it's fine. This app, by the way, this app will be live. Actually, if you see in the GitHub repo, I put this, the server is down right now, but I'll bring it up. So here it will be available on this URL. Fearsense free LLM, because it's so tiny app, I can just spin up on EC2 instance. It can be to play around, and otherwise the instruction is same. Only 3-4 instructions are missing, which is a pip install. I will push it into this requirement.txt, and that should be fine. And another one is that if you want to do specifically for healthcare use case, that is really interesting, because I try to do it, because you know what, no matter what video show me, my heart rate will be 40 all the time, 40. That's what my heart rate is. So with me, it doesn't work. So because I was exposing my Fitbit data and Joseph was doing from his, and it doesn't work. So to find a real use case, what the doctor was talking to you, right? We need a real patient, actually a real person. And also this app is not good enough yet. It's just a demo app. So someone has to actually curate the app in a way that while you're getting the live data from Fitbit, you're sampling it to the seconds with the video text. And then you are able to see if there is any correlation or causality or anything like that. So that would be one use case. I use it for mostly YouTube, I showed you. That's all from my side for this app. And I think it is pretty detailed, by the way. I mean, he did a really good job explaining everything. And I will say, I'll send you one after this event. I'll send you the link of the GitHub repo. Feel free to fork it, give any suggestion, whatever you want to do. And yeah, that's it from my side. Any question you guys have? No question? Okay, no question. Good. So thank you so much. And so next, we'll maybe take a few minutes break. And next, I'll invite Tara and Majid. So they are the CEO, co-founders of TorontoAI. So I'll invite them to speak about their tool, and that's it. Yeah.